Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our most distinguished guests, Mayor Engineer Carlos Lopez Jr. and Vice Mayor Ms. Heidi Chua, and to all of you who are present here in joining us on the celebration of the groundbreaking of the new Pascua building. I'm very honored and humbled to present to you this proposed construction of the first Pascua building, which I would say a very important milestone of my life. I would consider this project as a miracle because I never expected that I would reach the apex of my life from my very humble beginning to now a successful life. It's all due to my strong determination and strong faith in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Our infant Jesus, our Apo Santo Niño, is very close to my heart. From my rags to riches life, I am proud to show that success comes from hard work, self-discipline, determination, and perseverance, and I am happy to share my success with you, our people of Asingan, especially to my birth barangay Palares. I'm very grateful to our Lord for bestowing upon me the opportunity to widen my outlook on life by going abroad, and I would consider myself lucky that I managed to find success in the other side of the ocean, the United Kingdom, which became my adopted country for 40 years now. Every one of us has a dream that's sometimes unreachable, but poverty made me determined to achieve that earnest dreams. In June 1977, I left Philippines to work as a nanny for a handicapped baby girl in Scotland. I didn't have a clue at all as to how to take care of a handicapped child who was suffering from spina bifida. Going abroad is very daunting indeed. It's a big challenge for anyone who goes abroad because you do not know what the future holds for you. I was scared but confident. My only weapon was my strong faith in God. From here, my bumpy journey starts, but through my own efforts and initiative, I survived. My high education has also boosted my confidence that whatever job I could land was a big help. I was lucky that my employer in Scotland had kindly employed me as a part-time bookkeeper when they found out that I actually worked as an accountant before I left Philippines. Scotland was not a place where I could see the greener pasture, so I moved to London in 1979. I worked as a carer for a wealthy Russian lady, but that was not promising too because I felt so nervous and sorry seeing the lady in her vegetable state. I only worked there for 1 month. I found a job as a housekeeper for a wealthy family, but I found my lady employer very overpowering, domineering, and selfish. Here, I experienced being deprived of food. My supper was just a porridge or oatmeal, milk, and sugar. So again, I left after a month until I met a good gentleman who was looking for a part-time cleaner to his house. I applied, but when he found out about my educational background and previous works, he employed me as a bookkeeper in his building development company instead. Educational opportunities are plentiful in London and free, so I grabbed the opportunity by studying interior design and decoration. After 4 years of living in the UK, permanent residency will be granted to any individual who successfully finished a 4-year stay without break. As soon as I received my permanent residency, I immediately set up my own first business. I called it Spring Over Design. that caters mostly wealthy Arab families by decorating and making curtains for their big houses. I also designed, decorated, and made curtains for properties that were developed by the company who employed me as a bookkeeper. It's the company that Alan Bates owned, and as you all already know, I became his wife for 40 years now. Decorating and making curtains was not my calling, maybe, as I have had two almost major accidents. First was by almost burning my face from the heat of paint and white spirit. Thanks God, I did not disfigure myself, as the burn was only superficial. Only my eyebrows were burnt badly. You might be wondering how on earth a paint and white spirit could burn. I used white spirit to mix it with a special paint solution over the fire to use for decorative techniques on the wall like stippling and stenciling. It was a very popular wall painting technique in the early 80s in the UK. My second accident was by falling on the ladder whilst hanging the curtains on the windows. The windows of those Arab houses are so tall and large and needed two people to hang the curtains. Unfortunately, my carpenter friend just went out to get something from his van whilst I was standing on top of the ladder around 12 feet high. But suddenly, the ladder moved and fell on the floor. I'm sure my loving guardian angel just saved me because the ladder fell on the floor in slow motion. I was shocked but unhurt. I decided to abandon that business because my third accident might not be that so lucky anymore. However, my determination to succeed was not deterred by my previous bad experiences, so I decided to set up a state agency with an English girlfriend, and we called it Gold Hawk Estates. It's a company designed in selling and renting properties and obtaining mortgages, especially for first-time buyers, to which I managed to buy my first property with a mortgage, of course. It's a two-bedroom flat that I rented for a few years and eventually sold it with a good profit, which I immediately invested here in the Philippines, the building of my house. Now everyone calls it the mansion. I bought another 2 or 3 houses, one after the other, of course. At that time, it was easy to obtain a mortgage. Again, I rented them and eventually sold them, and the profit I made was invested here in the Philippines until I reached the time that I was no longer qualified to obtain a mortgage because of age limit. I also abandoned the estate agency because the recession was so bad that we could no longer sell properties. I always believe of the saying, after every storm, there is a rainbow of hope. In 1987, I saw the opportunity in getting involved in the music business. My husband was a jazz enthusiast. Recording and selling instrumental music was only his pastime, so I encouraged him to make it as a proper business. After watching a good singer pianist, Buddy Greco, that I immediately thought there is money in the jazz music business. We started signing up singers, and our very first boy singer, pianist, had become a big sensation and now a household name internationally. We recorded more singers, and the rest is history. Before I got married to Alan, I asked him if it's all right that my money is my own money and his is our money. He agreed. Everyone knows that all my siblings benefited from my hard work, and I hope they all appreciated that. Summarizing it all, I made my little fortune in hard work And now I'm ready to embark into my retirement, where, of course, no other than my birth town. So here I am back to our lovely area, Asingan. I'm not ready to put my feet up as yet, or resting on my laurels, as they say. So I'm trying my luck here in the Philippines. Also, the thought of diverting my hard-earned finances and resources here will help generate new jobs to many kabarangay and most of all, to boost the local economy. So today, ladies and gentlemen, you'll witness the building of the very first multi-purpose NPB building. So help me God that my success in my birth country will be a big success too, and I hope that through it will enable me to extend more my help to the most in need. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day and good morning.